Hello and welcome to BharatShakti.in. I am Nitin Gokhale, and with me today is Lieutenant General Satish Dua, who demitted office in 2018 as what is called the Chief of Integrated Defence Staff, and a man who can be credited with doing most of the spade work for appointment of a CDS, the Chief of Defence Staff, that the government has just declared or approved, and also the roles and responsibilities and the proposals that were forwarded to the government, which was finally accepted by the Prime Minister on August 15th. He declared it on the Red Fort during his speech that there will be a CDS appointed for Indian military. And now, earlier this week, the government has approved the appointment of the Chief of Defence Staff for the Indian military. Of course, we are still waiting for the name or the person to tenant that appointment, the first CDS. But before that happens, let me turn to General Dua and thank him for giving us this time.
Thank you.
What do you think is this role and responsibilities that have been now approved by the government? What is your reaction to that?
First of all, Nitin, thank you for calling me here. And may I just say something else before that? I just want to say that this is a very historic step. Also, it has exceeded expectations, and that is to me a mark of real good leadership, because while the whole machinery was perhaps expecting a chairman, a permanent chairman to be announced, in August we had the Prime Minister announcing the Chief of Defence Staff. That's a great step, because having given us a chairman once, I don't know when we would have upgraded to a CDS. Secondly, when the charter was announced now, one was very pleased to see that the Department of Military Affairs
Has been created.
Now, this has been a long-standing demand of the services. This actually takes us out of attached offices and makes us an integral part of the ministry and the government.
True, that status used to be attached offices earlier.
Absolutely. So that's a great step, and this will remove a lot of misunderstanding and grouse from amongst the services.
Sure.
As far as the role and charter is concerned, without going into the nitty-gritty and bullet points, the CDS now, he has to work at 3 or 4 different levels.
Right.
First, he provides a very effective and a better interface with the government at higher levels.
At a higher level.
Beyond the level of, beyond the Ministry of Defence, with other elements of power as a member of the national, when it takes part in the National Security Council, and
the Nuclear Command Authority, for instance.
Yes, so he also now is a military advisor in the Nuclear Command Authority. He also sits on the Defence Planning Committee,
And the Defence Acquisition Committee, both.
Yeah, so Defence Planning Committee, he helps interface with other elements of power, other instruments of power.
True.
Defence Acquisition Committee that you said, of course, is a part of MOD.
Right.
But that's where it brings us to the second level. Now, the second level that he has to do is to coordinate between the 3 services.
True.
Headquarter IDS has been doing a good job for last nearly 2 decades.
Yes.
However, Headquarter IDS was not empowered.
Right.
Because Headquarter IDS was required to take decisions on tri-service matters. But whenever there was an awkward decision or an unpleasant decision or a decision to be made, the Chief of IDS, that was, like I also held that for 2 years, had to go to the Chief of Staff Committee.
That's right.
Chief of Staff Committee being a rotational and a tri-service body, once again ended up in weak decisions.
True. Compromised decisions,
Absolutely.
if I can say.
So then we were just making a give and take.
Yeah.
This way, a CDS will be able to synergize our tri-services matters much better. We'll be able to usher in capability development in a more meaningful manner.
True.
We will be able to synchronize between the 3 services, and then because our kitty, our budget is limited, it actually gives a prioritized list to the government, and that's where Defence Acquisition Council will be more meaningful rather than every service going away with their own list.
And some duplication will be avoided now.
Absolutely. So that is the best part. When the gaps and overlaps can be cut out by the CDS, an effective CDS,
Right.
that will result in resource optimization in a very significant way.
Absolutely.
So that is as far as the military aspect is concerned. The third level that he will work on is the Department of Military Affairs. Now that makes it more meaningful, our interaction with the within the Ministry of Defence of the three services, a participative feeling. It will also cut down the delays in several issues, and we will see how it unfolds.
Right.
That's really a big step.
Yes.
And lastly, I think the issue of the fact that he will be a single point military advice is an intangible which people will realize a little later. Both the leadership and the forces will realize it makes a lot of difference when you have a single point military advice which is non-rotational.
True, but if you look at the press release that has come, and I have also held this view for some time, that the CDS, while we all will think that he will be the single point military advisor, but I think the definition that they have come up with in the roles and responsibilities, principal military advisor. You also were making a point about tri-service matters, the integration, that 3-year tight deadline that has been given. What do you think of that?
To my mind, that timeline at the first look may appear a little tight. However, I am glad that a timeline has been given by the leadership. If we don't achieve the task, the timelines can be reviewed. However, it is better to work on a timeline than an open-ended statement. So to that extent, when he starts creating, on one hand, the better integration in terms of logistics, communications, training, and many other such facets that have been listed.
Right.
Also, on the other hand, when he starts rolling out a plan for better integration in operational domain, such as even restructuring the commands, and eventually
Theatre
achieving
commands,
theatre commands. Yeah. When it comes to theatre commands, no matter when,
Right.
whenever it comes to that, then of necessity, the CDS will have to be given better mandate and a better role
Right.
to operate, to assume operational command as well.
Right. So at the moment, at least a good first step was what we can come to a conclusion right at the beginning, that this is the first good step. We should let it roll out and look at it from a 5 to 10 year horizon of the eventual aim of theaterization, joint commands, and the total integration of the services. But as somebody who's worked in IDS, and now that the department has been created, will it have a mix of civilian officers and military officers as far as this department is concerned, Department of Military Affairs? Should it have?
It should have. And headquarter IDS already has a certain certain number of officers. For example, in the defense diplomacy, we have a JS International and a Director International posted from the MEA. It's only that the appointment has been filled up only once, otherwise the authorization entitlement exists.
Yes.
Similarly, we have a full-fledged office of the scientific advisor to advise the CDS now on the capability plans and future capabilities specifically. We already have an IFA, a separate financial advisor.
Integrated
Financial advisor. So even, and maybe a few more
Joint
secretaries in terms of from administration and welfare could have also perhaps will need to be injected. However, as I understand, the Department of Military Affairs is planned to be a separate sort of a department,
Sure.
not riding on the headquarter IDS as of now. What shape it takes later remains to be seen.
Correct. So that's a good beginning as we have come to sort of conclude. But if one has to look at the other countries, for instance, where CDSs work in larger democracies or more evolved democracies, this question also comes up in some of our commentators and some commentaries, that why not a 5-star CDS? He's not empowered enough. How would you react to that?
Actually, Nitin, if you look around the world, there is no 5-star CDS anywhere, let alone democracy. There is no 5-star CDS anywhere. So to my mind, that does not matter.
It's impractical, actually.
It's impractical to have a 5-star CDS. In initial days, a few countries did appoint field marshals, But they've also done away with the practice.
Right.
So to my mind, 4 stars enough.
Because it destabilizes a lot of equations, even
With the
otherwise.
also with the civil counterparts
Civil
as well.
counterparts, and even I think with foreign dignitaries, because if you don't
Yes.
have a 5-star elsewhere,
Yes.
how do you deal with this 5-star if he has to deal with other dignitaries?
So that seems to be the
I think
contemporary
that's
practice the world over. That's not so.
You mentioned the leadership decisions of Prime Minister Modi in giving a full-fledged CDS.
Yes.
This is a long-held demand, as we have constantly mentioning. Now, if you were to be asked, or what would be a couple of negative things that are still there, which need wrinkling? I mean, the ironing out, the wrinkles that are there.
I wouldn't call it the things that can be done better, but I would say it's as a first cut it is very good.
Okay.
However, if a couple of things that I would feel it would be better done differently, one, the Department of Military Affairs, that we've created a separate department, if it could have been riding on the headquarter IDS itself, which already has a certain amount of officers that I pointed out to you.
Right.
From the civil side, we could have injected a couple of more capable officers at appropriate levels of the JS, etc. And it could have been one integrated whole.
Right.
And the second part, the second aspect is the Department of Military Affairs, I would feel could be handled also by the VCDS. He is a secretary level officer, as are all the vice chiefs. So he could have handled, or he could have headed the Department of Military Affairs, leaving the CDS free for higher responsibilities, like interfacing with the higher leadership.
With the political leadership.
With the political leadership.
Other
interfacing
elements.
with the other elements, absolutely, other elements of power. Rather than get him on a day-to-day basis, get him embroiled in that.
Right.
However, this is the first step.
Exactly.
We will learn as we go along, and if it is required, I'm sure the government can review it.
Now, having taken the first step, now it's completely up to the military leadership to make the best use of what has been now granted and approved by the government. You worked in, of course, you're an army man, but worked in IDS and at the highest level, and earlier also you worked at different capacities in tri-service organizations. Does it also now behave is it compulsory for Indian military officers at middle and higher level to also change their mindsets and look for more integration and more coordination and more jointness, rather than just keep working in the silos that they have been doing all this? How does that come about?
The first step has been done. The moment you announce an appointment, a department, everyone realizes this is here to stay. So there is no point trying to fight against this. When GST has started, then everybody has to adopt GST.
That's right.
Right? On the other hand, what is going to happen perhaps is, because this is again something we had suggested, I'm sure now it will be followed through. Let me give you an example of a Goldwater-Nichols Act.
Right.
Now, Goldwater-Nichols has very smartly done two small things, and those small steps have such a big impact. They give a lot of career incentives to officers who have done a tri-services course. And they give career incentive to officers who've done tri-service appointment, that they've served in a tri-service headquarters or establishment. They get extra points for their promotion boards. Now, the moment you do this make this sort of an arrangement, everyone realizes that they have to do these appointments. For example, Goldwater-Nichols Act actually does not, you cannot become a 3-star officer if you haven't done, I think it's 1 or 2 tenures, such terms.
Tri-services. Yeah.
So the moment you make such a rule, all officers who are looking up in all 3 services will make sure that they do have these kind of exposures. As it is, the moment you have 2 or 3 such exposures, that actually makes everyone capable of seeing the other's point of view, rather than fight the whites, as we call them. So I think such steps are going to go a long way.
Right.
And overall, an ethos of like we need to educate our younger officers.
Exactly.
I have myself been giving talks in various academies. Nitin, you have yourself
been
too
there,
have gone to the academies, and now is the time to answer their questions and queries, and let the formative officers at the formative years of their leadership also understand, because they are the leaders of tomorrow, and they have to carry this.
They have to carry this, and they have to take it to a logical conclusion as as it happens.
Absolutely.
Right. So I think overall, let's now conclude our discussion. Overall, very good first step with a lot of potential to achieve integration, a lot of saving in the long run, and effectiveness, combat effectiveness of the three forces. Would you agree? These three at least are the good takeaways?
Absolutely. The combat potential being enhanced is the thing that we need. We also, as a developing country, can ill afford this duplication and triplication of facilities that we do in the same space or the same town.
Yeah.
We can have resource optimization when we start integrating our logistics, training, etc., the facilities.
Sure. Absolutely.
And the aspect of gaps and overlaps. Every service has an air force of its own, has flying helicopters of different sizes. Every service has their own air defense. So we need to make sure that there are no gaps and overlaps, and all the three services, there is a capability overwatch. All are then acquiring modern technologies at the same pace.
Absolutely. And on that note, I must thank you, General Dua, for making time and talking to us and giving us a great insight into what the CDS will be. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nitin.